Yeah, let's do it, gang. Beautiful. All right, here we go. Interview number 2 for 2021, baby. This is absolutely fantastic. Sweet. So hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris. Usually hanging around here is my son, Gabriel, who helps with things. Hitting record being one of them. I had to learn how to do that today by myself, guys. But he's in school. They're doing online school. Half of his kindergarten was online. His entire grade 1 online. His grade 2 might even be online. Are the kids doing that in the UK? Are they online?
Yeah. I'm online at the moment. I'm at university and I'm just currently doing all my lessons on Zoom and Teams and stuff.
Wow. What's that like? Or was it already headed that way anyway?
It's not quite the same as going in, but it's they kind of have to adapt to the times. So there's not much you can do about it, but it's kind of nice doing my lectures from my bed instead of having to get up at 9 a.m. But I do miss going into uni and going in and just seeing like your classmates and your friends and people. Mm-hmm. Strange times. I know Syhem does a lot of her stuff online as well, don't you?
Yeah, all my work is based online. So most of the year I've been working from home as well, which is different. But we do have to adapt and try and stay safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And speaking of adapting, today on Rock and Roll Podcast, we have AVERTED. We're going to be chatting with AVERTED. They've got a new EP called Silence and was released at the end of last year, the end of 2020, December 18th via Wormhole Death. And so we've got Syhem and we've got Merlin, and we're going to be chatting about the band, their EP, because this is your debut EP, correct?
Yeah, yep. It is our very first baby. This is the first music we're coming out with. There was nothing before. We were just a group project thing, and somehow it just kind of happened.
Yeah, one thing led to another, and we are where we are.
Wow. It almost sounds like a love story, It just happened. One thing led to another.
Yeah. No, it was a bit like that, really. I mean, I started off the band with another member, Jamie, the guitarist, back in 2018. And we were kind of just working with a lot of material that we had, just in the in our documents and whatnot. We kind of write a lot together online, kind of beneficial now times, obviously with COVID and stuff, works in our favor a bit, but we wrote a lot of our material, just him sending me a riff and then me sending him some drums. And from that, we just created a lot of demos. We got together Logan, the bassist, and then we got together Syhem in like 2019, I think, at some point. And then we just decided we want to go full out, do an EP. And that's what you've heard so far.
Mm-hmm. So many details there. I have so many questions.
Just spewed it out, Lovey.
Yeah. So you and Jamie were using Zoom and Teams before it was cool.
Well, we kind of used Skype and Facebook Messenger to call each other, or we would do it old school and we'd be doing it on the Xbox way back then.
Whoa.
On the 360. But yeah, no, we kind of do it a lot just through. I just call him. We kind of just share ideas and stuff like that. It's kind of how we did it.
Put it on speakerphone. You put it on your floor tom. You're like, check this out, and then you hit your drums and the phone falls off. Yeah. Dude, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
it has been like that, the whole EP, how we wrote it, and because we all live in different part of the country. So I'm in London, Logan is in Portsmouth. Jamie's in Southampton.
I bounced between Southampton and Brighton, so we had to do what we could to be able to create together, and even before COVID, we had to deal with that.
Okay. So then I guess, so you guys joined up in 2019, and then you said, we should make this a real thing. You guys wrote the EP. How did Wormhole Death get involved? Were you guys shopping around, or how did that happen?
That was kind of like a surprise to me, actually, because what happened was that we initially released this EP back in May 2020. And it was self-produced back then, so I handled all of the PR and all of the release stuff and putting it live on all of the platform and coordinating.
It wouldn't be the way it was without CM, to be honest. She did all of the. She practically did all of the heavy lifting on that part.
Yeah, it was just like we just put it out ourselves. And one day I had a friend request from Carlo, who was really interested into us, and he was like, hey, can you send me some music over? I'd like to hear more and everything. And he very kindly offered us a deal, like pretty much straight away. He is a very genuine guy, and he really saw through us and that we were really serious about what we were doing. I think also based on the fact that we decided to record professionally at a very professional standard so early and by our own means. We really wanted to put something out there that would sound good, that we would be proud of, and that would represent us as a debut project.
I think you touched on something very important there, CM, is because I chat with a lot of bands, and so young bands, little toddler bands, they'll ask me, you get to chat with the big boys, and on all sides, what are they looking for? And I said, well, probably the paradigm shift you need to make is that you don't go into the studio with a paycheck in hand. You're not getting paid to be there. You're actually spending money to be there. So put forward the money to have the best possible production you can afford right now, and then work it like hell after it's released. And then they'll be interested in you, rather than the paradigm that a lot of small bands have, which is, well, we're going to do nothing until somebody invests money in us.
100%, you said it, and that's like why we did it that way as well. And the same way we didn't want to hit the stage before we had any sort of music available online, because what is the point to go and see a band if you can't really go back home and listen to them? Like, you're going to forget about them. What is the point? You need to focus your attention on doing one thing and do it properly, and make sure that it's heard.
Yeah. Back in the day, people would be like, check us out on MySpace, we are, and they would insert their name. Everybody's walking away to the bar. Nobody knows. Nobody cares.
Exactly. That's the whole point. You need to have something to back yourself up, because nowadays, like, especially in COVID, like, which is really strange, like, you don't have stage to put yourself out there. Like, how are you going to promote yourself as a band, as an artist, unless you put some material out there for people to listen to?
Yeah, so that takes me to the next question, because you guys released this in May of 2020, so coronavirus had already been going full bore pretty well at that point, and I'm sure you guys know, I don't have to preach to the choir, that if you release something in May of last year, it was pretty much like, that was dumb. Why did we do that?
Yeah, it was probably not the best time to release an EP, I have to say.
It wasn't, but the thing is that, as I said, it was a sort of 6 to 7 month PR plan. The promotion had already been launched 3 months prior to that, which was before
even
COVID.
Corona existed. We had the dates.
We weren't even aware of it back then. It wasn't a big thing, so we didn't really knew when we kind of launched the whole machine that it was gonna kind of not hit a wall, but not really reach the potential that it could have. And that's why I'm kind of happy that, we met Carlo and that he believed in our project, and that we're getting the chance to release it again now, and with a bigger platform. So it's like we're getting a second chance somehow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to ask, so what did you guys do? Because all the traditional ways of promoting were gone as far as playing shows, which has been mentioned a couple times already. So you guys are pretty still much a new band. Have you got the chance to play live much with this material?
No, we've never
not at all.
actually played it in front of anyone,
Wow.
which is pretty crazy. We've been, holding on to it. We thought we needed to be 100% ready for stage, and to have everything to back yourself up. It costs money to play. We've got to be honest. Nowadays, if you're a small band, it's going to cost you money to go and play anywhere. And even if you're a bigger band, it's going to cost you money to go and play places.
Yeah.
And it wasn't something that we could do at the same time as we were producing the EP ourselves. That's something we're really dying to do right now. And as soon as it's going to be possible, I swear to you, we're just going to be bloody everywhere.
Beautiful.
Yeah, as soon as this corona goes away, we'll be out there.
Boom. All right. So Averted 2023. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Oh.
Let's hope sooner, please.
Yes, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, cool. Now, something was mentioned about re-releasing the EP. So was it just re-released as it was, or did you guys have a chance to reproduce, remix, remaster, re-record any part of the EP?
No.
No. Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
No. It was released as it was, and we haven't changed anything about it. It's what it was when we first released it back in 2020, but it's just under the new label, simply, really.
Mm-hmm. And it's a shame because Carlo would have you over. You'd be in Italy eating pizza and gelato.
Yeah.
And drinking Peroni.
Yes.
Peroni.
We would be celebrating.
You would be. You would be.
I would be right there. I was planning. I had a villa booked in Italy in March. That was obviously cancelled a couple of weeks before I was planning to fly out. I'll go and see Carlo in Italy and eat some pizza with him for sure.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Shout out to Nat and Carlo at Wormhole Death real quick. Great people. Now, you also mentioned there's a physical release of the EP that's going to be happening this year in 2021. So take us through that. Is that vinyl? Is that CD? Is that cassette? Is it 8-track? What else is coming back these days? What's that going to look like?
So it's a really cool CD that Wormhole's team designed and put together, and it's looking really amazing. We're really pleased with how this is going to look. It's like we know exactly how it's going to look like at this point, and it's going to be printed very shortly. So this is something that's going to be available very, very soon, and that's going to be worldwide, which is really exciting for us to have some little physical copies of our music going all over the world for people to have. And I'm really excited that all of the lyrics are in there as well. And I'm really excited to hear about, people looking into it more.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned lyrics with a bit of a cheeky smile. So evidently there's some meaning and power behind these lyrics that I'm speculating that you had something to do with.
Yeah, I mean, I have written all of the songs on this EP, and, it was a really interesting journey because I really wanted to put myself in the mind frame where I was really through one scenario, one story, that everything would be consistent, but on all sorts of different angles. So I really wanted the whole thing to be coherent and also to be true to the meaning of like the emotional intention in the music.
Okay, that was a weighted statement. Take us through that. Maybe Merlin's got to join in about the weighted emotion of the music. So, do you guys write music that's meant to be emotional?
The instrumental side of the songs are quite solely composed between me and the guitarist and the bassist, and the lyrics are kind of CM's like bit to kind of express her sort of aspect of musicality onto the tracks. And so a lot of the lyrics are themed, and they have like a coherent structure to them. And I think CM's probably best at describing what that is, because instrumentally a lot is like me and the guys writing the songs together. And obviously, from probably what you've heard, it's quite it's quite powerful, hard hitting, and like we just kind of want to make people's heads bang. And hopefully the lyrics, the lyrics do like attend to that as well.
Mm-hmm. So
there's that as well, but I also want to speak on behalf of Jamie, who's not here, who's our guitarist, and I think there's a very, from my perspective, very honest way of like writing music that kind of speaks to me as a person. So that's why I was mentioning like the emotional weight of music, because it really, every time I heard a new song that Jamie sent me, there was an emotion, there was something there that I could jump on and work on, and that I could just run with. Like there is no point with fighting with like the emotion that you hear. I mean, music and emotion is like just a brain thing. But if I can make out something of what I hear, then likely other people are going to be able to do the same.
Mm-hmm. My question was going to be, how involved, CM, are you in the instrumental writing? Or when you receive the track, is it pretty much done instrumentally?
We all have our own input.
But, there are times where I'm like, guys, this riff is like way too long. Like, you need to cut this down. Or like, we've heard this. Or can you change that? Or, we all have our hand in the pot in making this. But I wouldn't say that like I compose anything myself by any means. But I do have some input over how it sounds.
Right. Yeah, we do share the tracks amongst ourselves, and we kind of just make points on things that we like about the songs, like in terms of structure, like ideas. We kind of just like pinch at things. So sometimes we'll have like a whole like 2-3 minute song, and we're like, nah, I like that riff, but the rest is like it could go with somewhere else maybe. And it's just a matter of just shuffling ideas around and coming up with something that we're all really happy with.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have a little bit of input in there in terms of writing the songs. And it's the same with the lyrics as well. Like CM will send us the lyrics over for tracks, and we'll do like little demos for us as well. And we kind of just get to, like we just said, put our own input into how we like the sound of the songs and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. Now you mentioned there's a cohesiveness to the lyrics, there's a theme. So then what is the theme of Silence? What is this EP about?
Ooh, there is like a sudden rain I can hear. It's coming from anyone's end.
Oh yeah.
Is it your microphone?
Hold on. Where is that coming from? There's like a bit of distortion coming from something. I can't figure out where.
Could you mute yourself for a second? Yeah, sorry. So, Silence is about war. When I first sat down and decided what I wanted to talk about, it just, all of the sources of my thinking was going towards war, and it just became evident to me that I just needed to talk about it, and through war explore a different range of subjects and characters as well.
Okay, carry on. It's like a cliffhanger.
Okay, oh sorry. I don't know, like I could go on for hours, but I also don't want to bore anyone to death. But Silence, if you look at every song, there is a story of a person, of an emotion, of something going on. For example, if you listen at Sacrifice, which is the first song we released and the song we have a video for, I wrote it with the idea of this soldier who is coming back from war and who was broken by everything that he lived, and there was nothing that he could do to make amends, and no one would be there to forgive him because everyone's dead, basically. But yeah, that's what Sacrifice is about. And there are songs like The Curse that talks about the madness around war and how we are, reproducing a behavior that we have seen forever. But we still do it, although we know it's bad. So you'll have different kind of perspective, different characters, sometimes within one song or another. In a lot of different songs, like Absolution, for example, I talk about the way religion had a hand in war, for example. For me, war has different dimensions and different reasons, but it all can come down to one thing, and it's fear. And that's what I'm trying to explore in Silence.
Okay. Now, quick question. I know you guys have an update right this minute. Do you need to go, or can we continue for like 5 minutes?
Oh, we're totally good.
Okay.
Okay, because I don't have my next interview just yet, so we can roll. Because I've got the music video up for Sacrifice, and it is quite the music video. You guys are dressed in white.
Yeah.
It looks like there's an extra guitar player, or is he just walking down the street and he just ended up in the front?
Oh, yeah, we just found him on the side of the road.
He was busking, for rent money, and...
Oh, he looks good.
It was like, we just need another guy. Like, this is not symmetrical. We need to do something about it.
He's just
our friend. So,
he's the counter contrast, because we've got, clean shaven space guitar on the right, and then we have unclean shaven non-space guitar on the left. So it's
yeah. Well, it's our good friend Brian, who's been helping out. If you listen to the EP, there are 2 guitars on there. But at the moment, we only have 1 guitarist, just because we feel like we just don't have the right person yet. So we've been having a couple of friends here and there to support us in case we need to go and play a gig somehow, if possible. I don't know. But yeah, we do have some friends as a backup that, we've been using.
Mm-hmm. Okay, beautiful. Now, I'm trying to think about any other questions that I have. While I'm thinking about questions, I know that's my responsibility, considering that I'm the one leading the interview. But is there anything? Is there anything that you guys wanted to chat about that maybe I haven't asked yet?
Yeah, we do have. Obviously we're in lockdown right now, but we do have some project in the works. We're not going to stop to just an EP. We've got many more songs that we need to share with the world, and we're writing them right now. We've got a few, and it's looking like there's going to be an album dropping in 2022.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa. Now, that leads me to a question that... Same production team, same production style. Are you guys planning to get in a producer that maybe wasn't there before, or a mix engineer that wasn't there before? What's that look like?
I'm not sure. I think that's still in the discussion phase at the moment. At the moment, it's just getting the material kind of all together. And I mean, we have people in mind. We have considered returning to our producer, but we've still got things on the table, like we want to have all of our material kind of roughly sorted before we decide on who we want to go with, I think. But that's still something to be concluded yet.
It's very much so, but what we have a few ideas about is the featurings that are going to be on the album. So obviously, I'm not going to say anything now, but there's going to be a few interesting artists who are going to give us a hand. And we've got some very different tunes as well that are going to come through that we're a little bit scared but excited to share with the world. And we're just going to try and explore a little bit more with our album this time.
Okay. Well then, we've chatted about actually the forming of the band. That was at the beginning. We chatted about you guys releasing the EP in May, which turned out to be a very good idea. And then ended up getting involved with Wormhole Death, and then re-released an EP. We've got a CD coming in 2021.
Yep.
We chatted about Sacrifice, music video for Sacrifice. We chatted about the EP as a whole, Silence. One of the other tracks that we had set aside to chat about today was The Curse, but it was a bit of a curse, and it just didn't get talked about. It's just one of those things.
It's so fun.
Left to the imagination of the listeners.
It's all good. There is a lyric video coming soon for The Curse, so people will be able to know what it's all about when they see the words flashing before their eyes.
Those beautiful, empowering words. All right. Well, gang, unless I miss anything, I just wanted to thank you for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
us.
for having us. Thank you.
It was a pleasure.